Surviving Rocklahoma.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Surviving Rocklahoma, your official source, your official podcast of Rocklahoma. I am your host with the locks that rocks, Adam Richmond, coming at you live from a special day this Tuesday. I know we normally go live on Monday nights, but, there were conflicts. I know there was a local venue that had a great lineup last night over at, I believe, at the Vanguard. Let me fix this camera really quick. I was messing with some stuff, getting ready for the show I am so excited about. We are live tonight, like I said, because there was something going on last night, as well as my youngest son has decided to take up in his father's footsteps and give hockey a shot. So we may have to reschedule when we normally go live, because I am not going to miss those games. Now, that being said, you guys let me know. Drop in the comments, what is the best night of the week for you guys? I'm thinking we may go back to Sunday nights where we started. I know some other things goes on later on in the weeks, but I'm thinking we may go back to a Sunday night time slot. More on that to come. Now, as far as tonight goes, we're going to have a special guest joining me from Camp Flocking Nightmare. Fallon Rafferty is going to be joining me. She helped me all last year with the campgrounds map, and she also has been just a total asset to as far as getting organized in terms of finding where all of these parties are going on in the campgrounds. So as I have been off wandering in the chasing stars and all of this other stuff, traveling the country, thanks to you guys, we've been swinging for the fences, but now it is time to bring the show back home where we belong, loud, local, and live. So we are going to be talking more about Rocklahoma. So she's going to get us all caught up. We're going to find out what is going on in the campgrounds this year. And we've got an announcement, but I'm not going to give too much away. No spoilers here. We are going to talk about that in the second half of the show. Before that, we are going to be talking a little bit more about my trip a few weeks ago to ROK Island 2023. We are going to get into a little bit more of the footage, the coverage that we captured that week. Now, I know the festival is gone and past, but it was a very big opportunity for this show. So we're going to milk it for another week. We're going to talk a little bit about it here tonight, and where you can find out more to the story, including some tales from the Key West Islands, as well as more footage as well. Now, before we do any of that stuff, oh yeah, and we're going to bring you some sounds from Key West. It's a different speed than what we're used to right here in Metal Country, but you gotta expand your horizons a little bit. So we're going to bring you some tunes from the coast with a gentleman I met over at Smokin' Tuna Saloon, Mr. Gerd Rube. I also had the Rock Box just exploding with some folks getting a request in for this band that we are going to be featuring later on tonight. I'm talking about Casting Shadowz. And we featured them, I want to say last month, but they just made such a splash, so good, we got to do it again, right? So before we get into all of that other stuff, what do you say we go ahead and cover some bills? All right, let's pay some bills. First up, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. And the first one of those is a very special one. He actually celebrated a birthday this weekend. I want to give a thanks and a huge happy birthday, happy 60th birthday to Doug Burgess of DEB Concerts. There was a bit of a shindig that went on this weekend, this Saturday in Tulsa at the Cox Business Center. And I was lucky enough to score myself an invite, as well as a lot of the other Rocklahoma family, as well as artists and all those other types that are involved in that level of event production and just music. There's just so much musical minds in that room, and it was so awesome being in there. We also spoke with several folks who came and shared a bit of love for the show, as well as we're working on some things in the future. But that's not what this is about. This is about DEB Concerts, who is one of the first sponsors of Surviving Rocklahoma. And so that's why I had to give a huge special shout out, because Doug was one of the first ones to believe in this show, what we do here, and to just support us. So thank you so much, Doug from DEB Concerts. Remember, folks, he's been rocking the stage for several years, that Rocklahoma stage, and he is proud to proclaim what he wants to do with his life. I wanna rock! And Rocky did. He had Tom Kiefer this weekend. Last year, he had Poison. And before that, he had Lamb of God and Megadeth and In Flames. Before that, he had the OGs of the West Coast, Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Warren G. What's next for DEB? I don't know. But I will say what is not is next. Now, guys, this is the guy who staffs the DEB stage in the Roadhouse at Rocklahoma. Now, at the beginning of the year, he opened up submissions to play the Rocklahoma stage. Those have since closed. So as much as I would love to see you on a Rocklahoma stage, there's nothing I can do to help you get up there. However, if you want to send music for us to play, we will gladly do that. But DEB Concerts is one of the best ways to get up there. Now, if you interested in submitting your band for that, you just got to follow the DEB Processing Stage at Rocklahoma Facebook page, and there'll be announcements there. But as for the 2023 season, submissions are over. The lineup should be dropping here in the next month or two. So I don't think you're going to be able to get on a stage this year. So sorry, I wish I could help you, and he's been very clear that the submissions are over. So cut the guy a break, cut us a break, and let's go ahead and talk about our next proud sponsor. I'm talking about At Your Service Rentals. Now, At Your Service Rentals is your portable restroom supplier for Rocklahoma, the only place where you can get your own portable restrooms for Rocklahoma Music Festival. I don't know any other musical festival where you can rent your own portable restrooms, to be honest with you. It is a wise investment, and it gets hot Labor Day. They can even hook you up with your own personal swimming pool, and you get to keep the pool too. So that is AYS Rentals. Check them out on all of the social media platforms or aysrentals.com. I'm sure they will be opening things up for their the reservations for the Rocklahoma season within the next couple of months. Now remember, we give away some portable restrooms every year and some RV services as well. You never know what we're going to be giving away, so make sure you follow survivingrocklahoma.com, follow aysrentals.com. You could save yourself some money at Rocklahoma this year. With that being said, we also want to give a huge shout out to Camp Rockavet. Now, Camp Rockavet, Camp Rockavet's been on a mission to give the gift of medicine, and they believe music is one of the best medicine out there. And their prescription, along with more cowbell, they have been facilitating getting free passes, free tickets, getting veterans to Rocklahoma for free. And over the past couple of years, we've given away over 60 passes to veterans to go to Rocklahoma. We even gave a few away for the little country sister, born and raised, and they've given away some other concert tickets in outside of the music festivals. So Camp Rockavet, we are so glad to have them as a sponsor. We are also going to be talking about how you can win a very special prize from Camp Rockavet just here a little bit later in the show. With all of that being said, folks, it is time to go ahead and get into the show. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a bit parched. So here at the, you know what? I need a koozie. Alrighty. Now, I got this one as I was celebrating with my good friend last night. What do you guys use for your koozie? Do you have a favorite koozie, or are you one of those high-class people who pour your beers in a frosted glass? Well, once again, I'm going to give a huge birthday cheers out to one of our longest sponsors here at Surviving Rocklahoma. We want to say happy birthday, Doug, and cheers, everybody. All right. Oh, that's so much better. My liver is starting to get a little... Anyway, so... All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show. Now, this weekend, as I was saying, we enjoyed a great weekend over at the Cox Business Center for a birthday bash put on by DEB Concerts, and this was this wasn't something, a public event. This was just something for the Rock family and good friends of Doug, and it was absolutely awesome. We were treated to a concert by none other than Tom Kiefer, and on top of that, there was some other great shows this weekend. You guys tell me, what did you do this weekend? Drop it in the comments. Let's hear your tales from the weekend. Made my liver tingle. That's what I was trying to say. Shimmy. See? Look at you girls. You're just thesaurus in the comments. It's my favorite one, though, for real. Thanks for representing Camp Black Pearl Koozie. Alrighty. So, now I do want to say, if I know that we have been we've been selling some shirts lately, and we want to give a huge shout out to those folks who donated to our ROK Island trip, as well as those who have ordered shirts even outside of our fundraising campaign to get us across the country. Now, I am about to do a large order of shirts. They're all going to start going out in the mail. So if you would like an official Surviving Rocklahoma t-shirt, like what you see on the website and the Facebook page, now's the time to order, because I'm going to be sending out a bunch of shirts later on in this week. If you have not received your shirts, make sure that you send an email to Surviving Rocklahoma. It is very crucial, folks. Make sure that you've got the correct address and zip code. Several shirts have been returned to me from my post office because the address didn't link up. So make sure you got those addresses right as you order those shirts so that I can make sure that you get what you paid for. Checking back out into the comments. Opening of champagne and chocolate art. Show the side pieces in. So we spent Friday at the art gallery. That's awesome, Sherry. I'm the ground. I gotta have resources. Ice skating and roller skating celebrating 50. You guys have got to see me on roller skates. You wouldn't believe it. I can give just about anybody a run for their money on a set of quads. I can't dance unless you put me on wheels, and then it's just falling gracefully to the rhythm of whatever the music is. So we're going to be sending that merch out this week. So if you're going to be ordering anything, make sure that you get those orders in, we'll say by Wednesday at 5, because Thursday I'm going to do a large shipping order. Now, as far as ROK Island goes, now we are starting to get our first images of ROK Island courtesy of a good friend and trusted colleague that we brought onto the team this past year at Rocklahoma 2023. I'm talking about photography by Angel Lee. And I just want to give you guys a peek at what we saw this weekend. Now, this is from the Photography by Angel Lee Facebook page, and she accompanied me as we documented our journey to ROK Island. So a lot of folks have been asking about the boat we stayed on. Well, once again, this was the Captain Andy, and this was in Safe Harbor. And I forgot I had a special clip I was going to play for you guys. It looks like I'll get it for you next week. But this thing was super cool. I've never slept on a houseboat or on a boat at all in my life. And I never sleep so soundly. It could have been the gentle rocking of the waves or all of the bilge and water pumps that run 24/7 on the boat. But we were hummed quietly to sleep as if we needed any help, because I will tell you, that drive is nothing to joke about. Now, I will say one amazing performance that I was ever so excited to see, that was Slaughter. And Angel had demonstrated why exactly I wanted to bring her along. Check out some of these images. I mean, just the power alone from the band Slaughter at Key West. They absolutely killed it. And these guys demonstrated exactly why we consider them legends. They played Rocklahoma several times. They've played this ROK Island this past week. And the event was hosted by Eddie Trunk. And just like we do here at Rocklahoma, they had a couple of guitars. They had some guitars that they were auctioning away, and they went for some ridiculous amounts. I can't remember what the amounts were, but man, the crowd was just absolutely loving it. Now, it's not the crowd that you and I expect at Rocklahoma, where it's just crazed fanatics going nuts. But these folks were very much in the moment. They were here. They were partying. They were having the time of their life. And there's Kyle. I believe he is one of the main men behind ROK Island. I believe I got a better picture somewhere along the way. Those guitars were absolutely cool. I loved the design on them this year. Once again, these photographs are courtesy of photography by Angel Lee. See that you can see the crowd was filling up, especially after dark. People were feeling good. The weather there was a nice, comfortable 75, dry heat, but yet you still had that cool ocean air, and people were just getting into it, folks. We also, the following day, we were also joined by some great contacts that we made within the festival. We partied with them the next day at the Sunset Pier. This was an all-star jam right along the ocean, featuring members from Stephen Piercy's band, the Dead Groove Band, of course, the Bullet Boys, Trickster, Tesla's band. This all happened at the Sunset Pier in Key West, Florida, at ROK Island. And it started misting up halfway through the All-Star Jam band. They kept going as the moist air began to get a little bit thicker. All of us started to feel the humidity rising. Let me see if we can find some really good photos, because the crowd was great. They were just getting down with it, y'all. And let's not forget Bullet Boys, the legendary Mark Torian. Where's he at? There you go. And we got the pleasure of hanging out backstage with Mark, and we've confirmed that they're going to be circling back with us, and we're going to be having Mark and the Bullet Boys on the Surviving Rocklahoma podcast here in the coming weeks or months. And gosh, this pier was just so much fun. And one of the funnest things about it, as we're hanging out back there, is this is just right across the dock. And there's all kinds of boats all around. And they would just casually stroll up to the dock side and wave at us and party with us. And then they would go on about their tours, their business, fishing trips, whatever. There we go. There we got some folks that just kicked back and joined us alongside the dock. But yes, you can see all of these photos and more at Photography by Angel Lee on Facebook. She's also working on a website where you'll be able to find all of these great photos, as well as some past photos from Rocklahoma 2023. Also, be on the lookout, because we've had several websites that reached out to Surviving Rocklahoma wanting to work with us, so we could be affiliating with some of the bigger boys and being echoed worldwide. So with that being said, folks, we do want to see what is going on in the comments. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. In the comments there. Jacqueline, you've got all of our thoughts and prayers. Our love is with you. Alrighty. So, in terms of ROK Island 2023, if you would like to hear more of the stories, some of the tales we've got from the island, and we got several, not including catching flying fowl flying across the pub. That is still, oh my gosh, you just got to hear the story. But the story will be on the website, survivingrocklahoma.com, in the coming weeks. So let me see if I am running a little bit early. Let's see what we've got going on here. Tell me about you guys. What is some of the festivals that you have been eyeballing in the coming weeks. What are some of the music festivals that you're going to be traveling to go and see? So I believe, all right, Fallon, if you would, you can go ahead and join and hop in that green room. That one is going just a little bit. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. But in the meantime, I really do want to thank everybody for supporting us in our endeavors as we continue to grow and expand this podcast. And we went to Key West this past year. We did Rock the Equinox in Stigler, Oklahoma, a little bit before that. And then we also did Born and Raised and Rocklahoma 2023. Now, we've also got a few other festivals that we have been visiting with some promoters, some organizers, and some other folks that have invited Surviving Rocklahoma out to cover their festivals. So we are going to be doing more traveling in the coming weeks, in the coming months. But until then, I want to feature somebody that we met up with in Key West, Florida at the Smoking Tuna Saloon. He was a class act. He covered a ton of the hair metal bands, from everything from Bret Michaels to Motley Crue and everything in between. And I tell you what, folks, we're going to throw things a little bit back, especially if you like some of those classic rock tunes. I tell you what, here is Gerd Rube.
I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. Hey! I woke up this morning, raised the flag in the yard, picked up some ice for the cooler. I took the dog for a walk. She's all that I got, but she's always been a bit of a drooler. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. I got cores and butts and bottles of shots, and I've been drinking all day. Hey, hey! Wife was ready to leave me. Maybe should have gone to the jeweler. I was ready to go, had the keys in my hand, but I still had a beer in my cooler. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. I've got cores and butts and bottles of shots, and I've been drinking all day. Hey, hey! She says I drink too much, but every bottle I touch makes me feel just a little bit smoother. I spend the day at Tobay, the hell I will pay, 'cause I still have a beer in my cooler. Got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. Got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. Got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I really had a hell of a day. I got a beer in my cooler, a beer in my cooler. I wouldn't want it any other way. I've got cores and butts and bottles of shots, and I've been drinking all day.
Alrighty, and that was Gerd Rube from Key West, Florida. Been doing it for over 20 years. And he was an absolute class act. We visited with him in the Smokin' Tuna Saloon. You can find out much more about his music. He's got a wide array of different tunes, covers, originals, and some live performances on his YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Gerd Rube, for allowing me to feature you on this show. Now, switching gears from ROK Island, we need to start cracking into some Rocklahoma content, and I am joined tonight by Fallon Rafferty of Camp Flocking Nightmare. Let me get the right screen up there. There we go. Hi, Fallon.
Hey.
So, girl, you are a busy bee. You're somebody that just always seemed to know what was going on in the campgrounds. And that's something that I could not overlook last year. So I said, you know what? I got to get this girl to help me, because I saw so much of myself in what you do, because we just love the party. So the question is, I've been very much out of the loop. I've been, swimming in with the clouds and reaching for the stars. Tell me what is going on in the campgrounds for this year.
Oh my gosh. So these guys have came out swinging this year. I mean, we're talking a week. I mean, seriously, like a week into the new year, these guys were swinging for the fences right off the bat. You guys, it's like I've got a notebook already with tabs and everything in it. And every single day something new is added. So, normally party days for the campgrounds are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have almost starting at noon, 10 a.m. to noon, for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday filled. That you guys, they started planning stuff, like legit planning stuff for Wednesday this year. These guys are coming out of the gate swinging, and there's over 215 named camps this year, and that's the most that we have had since I have started keeping track of the names and stuff in the last 3 years. So this is a record year so far, and it's amazing. And of course, Friday night, there's a few overlapping things, but I mean, this year is exciting, and it's going to be a good year. So if you are not normally a camper, this year you're going to want to camp, because you're not going to be able to even remember that you had feet at the end of your legs by the time we get done with you guys this year. It's crazy.
And see, that's why we make a list, because we keep going until we don't remember where we were at. So we just all right, I was here. I don't remember that place, but I think it was cool. You mentioned a few things that you have mentioned several times and hit on your live streams, on your camp flocking nightmare. And you mentioned it that, there's just so many parties and so many camps now that it's just impossible not to overlap. So, folks, this is a giant buffet, and there's plenty of food for everybody. So, not really food nor free beer, but there's a party, and there's enough party for everybody. So if a day works for you and you're planning something, just go what works for you. Don't worry about everybody else. We're all big boys and girls. We're not going to get our feelings hurt. We're going to drink till we don't have any. But that's just me.
Exactly. No, exactly. And that's just it. And honestly, the best the best way that I have ever heard this described was by Jennifer Haddix, and she was in a Camp Heads chat, and everybody was so worried about conflict of scheduling and who was, gonna do what or whatever. And she said, the best way to describe Rocklahoma is it is like a bar crawl. Every place is different. You're going to have some places that are your cheers bars. You're going to have pubs. You're going to have nightclubs. You're going to have strip clubs. And you, with everything that everybody has to offer, that is something that nobody should get their feelings hurt, that if a couple things are going on at the same time, because maybe somebody can't or doesn't want to walk that far, or maybe somebody is just looking for a place to kind of go chill and hang out. And whenever I tell you there's so much different stuff this year, Camp Fireball is offering a game of Dungeons and Dragons after the headliner on Friday night. And so they've got more information coming on that. So like, you guys, remember I tell you this year is completely different? Like, this year is completely different. So, and if you guys, have never heard of Camp Fireball, they're over in VIP. And he's getting everything set up with that. And he was like, we're going to have two different stations set up. And like, they are coming this year. Like, they're ready to bring something different to the scene, which I think is completely freaking awesome. So, like I said, this year is very exciting, and there's so much new that is that's coming that you guys aren't gonna you're not gonna want to miss it, and you're gonna want to get out and take your pictures and walk around, and and there's things that are returning this year that are being extended upon, like the royalty contest is coming back this year. It's not going to take place until Saturday night this year, but we're adding some extensions to that. So we want to do a little bit more with that. And I don't know, you guys, like, we're out here and we're ready to include more people and bring more to you guys. And the contest, it's just everything. Like, it's just everything. Remember I tell you, like, I have a notebook for a reason. I cannot even keep track of it all in my head. There's so much going on. The Naughty Miles coming back this year. It'll be typically on Saturday. Isn't that usually around like 10 or 11, Adam?
Yeah, times vary. We usually shoot for 11 a.m. And for you folks who have not experienced the Naughty Mile, to save you a large biography, because it is just such if you are a sentimental person, this is something that will just, you can't walk with us and not be moved. Now what it is every year we do a walk across the property. It's right at a mile, and it was named after one of our Rocklahoma family members that passed several years ago. Jerry Wyman, aka Naughty. We named it in his honor because he did marathons and undie runs for benefits and charity and such. So everybody just gets down to their skivvies or a fun outfit or whatever. Just express yourself, be proud of yourself, your body, and everything. And while we do it, we walk with those friends that can't walk with us anymore, those that we have lost along the way. Since we're bearing our spirit and bearing all, we walk with their spirits along with us. And folks are invited to bring blown up photos, posters, or whatever, their loved ones. We walk all the way across. It draws a lot of attention, and it's just something we started doing, I believe, in 2016 or 2018, I believe. And it's just something we absolutely love doing. Fallon, now you had mentioned a few things about contests. Now, last year, there was an amazing contest that got a lot of attention, a lot of participation from new folks to folks who's been here forever, young and small, old and whatever. Tell us a little bit about the scavenger hunt.
So the scavenger hunt is coming back again this year. Justin has been working on that, and I'm gonna end up helping him a little bit this year. Him and I have got to go to the drawing board. You know, he's got some stuff he's working out. Of course, you know, prizes have to be worked on, and you know, try to figure out what you want people to get pictures of, so it's not the exact same thing over again. But the scavenger hunt is coming back, and it's coming back with a vengeance, and it's, you guys, it's coming back even bigger this year. There's so much fun stuff in store, and I do know that you guys, there's a prize for this year that listen, I wish I could participate in it, but unfortunately stepping into the picture puts me out. But like, you guys, Justin has had so much support whenever it comes to the scavenger hunt, and it was one of the funnest things that anybody could participate in, and literally anybody could participate in it. It was, you know, it was variety friendly, it was age friendly, and the winner from that last year was Digging Down Daniel. So
Excuse me, what was that? Who won that?
That was Digging Down Daniel. Hashtag Digging Down Daniel. Witness won last year.
All right, we had to. Now,
Yes.
you guys have been talking about the participation in everyone, and before we get into some of the prizes that you've been looking at, you even were joined by not one, by two bands on the scavenger hunt. One local band in fall, and one that drove 22 hours to be at Rocklahoma last year. Eternal Frequency joined in the campground scavenger hunt. You got any participants this year that you're at liberty to say just yet?
You know, we haven't, I know Justin hasn't really had much time to talk to very many people.
Mm-hmm.
His work schedule has kept him balls deep in chaos. So, and you know, he handles a lot of that. I'm just his wingman this year, so I don't know a whole lot about what he has coming in, but I know that he's been talking to some awesome people that are going to be there, and they're definitely, you know, he's got things on the list for this year that are just iconic, honestly, along with you know, some very they will be very you know, iconic prizes. So like I said, along with you know, along with Rocklahoma itself this year, the scavenger hunt is going to be at the top of the list. By the time, you know, by the time we're at liberty to say what the prizes are.
I am so coy,
you know?
even Fallon is getting frustrated over there. She's like, just say it, Adam. Listen to her. She's avoiding it so much.
So, you know, like, it's awesome because we've had so many people reach out and say, hey, you know, that we have this idea, like, you know, do you guys want to work with us? Do you want to do this? And, you know, it's being on that back burner of being respectful and, you know, not spilling the beans before they're ready to be opened and spilled. So, Justin says no specific bands yet. Chris says
he wants a hint. He wants what?
At the prizes.
I tell you what, Chris wants a hint at one of the prizes, and I happen to know one of the prizes that's going to be up for grabs, and it's a rockin' prize, I tell you. Before we get into that, you know what? I want to see. We got 34 people in here. Let's do a let's do hashtag Camp Flocking Nightmare if you want to hear what one of the prizes for the scavenger hunt is. I tell you what, while we're giving, we're going to delay it even that much more. Tell me a little bit about Flocking Nightmare really quickly before sum up. What is Flocking Nightmare for this? I'm new.
Okay, so you know, as you run a camp and you open a camp, and you know, things change along the way. People that you originally started with, they get into it and they're like, this is way too much for me. So you end up have to go back to the drawing board. And that is what we did. We went back to the drawing board. And I had already been talking to Justin beforehand, and I said, hey, I was like, you spent all your time over there last year during the parties and stuff. I'm like, just come camp with me. Like, just come camp with us. Like, let's just make this a thing. And so, next thing you know, he's like, okay, fuck it, I'm in, you know, whatever. And so here he comes flying on over, and we tossed names around for a while, and we said, flocking, like, that's perfect. It's Flocking Nightmare. And along the way, you know, like we've picked up a few other friends along the way, and we've just built off of it. And you know, like, you guys, we have a solid team this year. Like, I could not have handpicked these, and I did not handpick anybody that we're in cahoots with this year. It just happened. And the next thing I know is it's like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. Like, this is what's happening. And we're still holding off on things from you guys because I've got to wait for that phone call to tell us, you know, the only thing I can tell you guys is we've outgrown our spot from last year. We can't get back there. So I have to wait for those lovely ladies in the office to have time to put up with my shit to help find us a new home. And I called them the other day and I was like, I'm like in panic mode. Like, I need a home. And she was like, I poor Debbie, like, listen, she's so sick of my shit already. She's like, you're homeless? Like, what is going on? She's like, you got kicked out of your home? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like my Rocklahoma, like my camp at Rock. And she was like, she's like, shit. She's like, I thought you done got thrown out on the street or something. And I was like, no, I just need to know where we're going to land at Rocklahoma. So this poor lady, I had her on edge. She was like, what in the hell, Colin? Like, so anyway, before we can go any farther and we can let you guys know anything else, we have to know where we're going to be at. And so we're just like you guys. It's just a waiting game. And, you know, they just, like Adam said, they just wrapped up ROK Island. So, you know, there's still some loose ends on that. And, you know, you guys, and please be patient with them. Do not give them 900 calls. They are still working on trying to get you guys as renewals, you know, in the process of moving and working. It's kind of like a new year to them. It is a new company, a new ticketing company and all of that. So just be patient with them in the office.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
they're working as hard as they can, but, you know, they cannot help hiccups that come up. So, but as far as, you know, Flocking Nightmare, we're modifying it a little bit this year, because I didn't really like the way it went. So we're doing the booty contest again. But this year there's not going to be any painting to it. The painting aspect was a disaster. So we're going to turn it into more of a Coyote Ugly theme. So,
that's what my wife calls me.
So the ladies are going to have a Coyote Ugly, and the guys are going to do their Magic Mike, aka Mask Night contest. So the ladies stuff is going to be a lot more fun this year. Friday night, we are doing Flamingo Friday. So we're encouraging everybody to dress in pink or flamingo or, do whatever you want to. And then Saturday, we have a huge 90s party. So find your Jinkos. But I don't know. That's what we've got going on our end right now. We're just kind of at a standstill currently.
Jennifer Haddix in the comments mentioned, don't forget that we are helping Justin's scavenger hunt by having a costume contest to encourage more costumes. So with the scavenger hunt, you got to go collect things, right? I mean, the simple gist of a scavenger hunt, break it down for me.
Okay, so in the scavenger hunt, you'll have certain things that you're going to have to find. They're not super difficult, but like last year, it'll be like, get your picture with Endfall. Go get a picture with Eternal Frequency. And you guys, whenever it says go get a picture with them, you don't have to go bother them. It can be get a selfie with you standing in front of them, but make sure it's in your file. Camp Red Baron, Jennifer Haddix, they're having a Peanuts comic strip Sunday event. So they're encouraging everybody to, it's comic strip Sunday, Sunday Fun Day. And they're encouraging everybody to dress like Peanuts characters. They're having a huge blacklight party Sunday night, and they're encouraging everybody to dress up. You can dress in whatever you want to, but one of the things that'll be on the list is find a Peanuts character and get a picture with them, or however they decide to do it. If somebody dresses up like the Red Baron, go get a picture with the Red Baron. So the list is very simple. It'll have things, they may have to come find you at the media booth, wherever you're at or whatever, and get a picture with you. Or it could be somebody's banner. For example, it could be go get a picture in front of the Flocking Nightmare banner.
Sure.
It's real simple things that you're going to be able to collect along the way. And you guys will start collecting this stuff as soon as your feet hit the grounds running at Rocklahoma. So it doesn't, the only thing it'll do this year, because there are some rule changes and because of some price changes and stuff like that, it will be cut off at depending on what Justin decides, it could be cut off at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. or whatever. But you'll have to have everything submitted to him by a particular time so we can go through it and then go, take our next steps in deciding who the finalists are for the prizes.
Right. Well, folks, man, that sounds like a lot of work, Fallon. I'm just going to a concert. Now you want me to do a scavenger hunt? I think I need some incentive. I am so glad to have you folks doing what you do in the campgrounds. And the scavenger hunt was so much fun last year. You had a lot of participants last year, and it's free, something free to do. Anybody and everybody can do it. And
the only thing that you have to do is make sure that your phone is charged. So get you a battery pack and and a phone cord, and throw it in your clear backpack so you can have it with you and go get all the pictures, all the pictures, and then some. So
for those of you, I've got something that I wanted to kick in on this scavenger hunt, and I ended up with something last year that gave me a lot of pressure because I want it to go to somebody who deserves it, somebody who is not just going to send it down to a local pawn shop. I wanted to give something that everybody at Rocklahoma is going to want. Everybody is going to be, you're devoting your 3 days of your weekend. You need a good prize. So
and Jennifer Haddix just said that she's going to throw in a jar of moonshine.
Nice. Well, man, I don't know if I can compete with that. I think I can.
I mean, like that's a pretty good prize. Like I don't know how anybody can compete with that.
You know what? I'm
Like
going to
that-
up my game. So I'm not going to do one. I'm going to do two. Yeah. Let's give two prizes on behalf of Surviving Rocklahoma, because we're blessed with some generous sponsors, some people who just want to give the gift of medicine and make this the greatest weekend of your life. And you need something on your wall or in your man cave, your bitch barn, whatever you want to call it. So last year I've got a couple of those things and I've still got to give them away. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So you're going to have a couple of winners of this scavenger hunt. And I'm going to throw a wrinkle in for you guys, because you're going to have one civilian and one veteran that are going to win this scavenger hunt. And I'm running low on time, so we're just going to get busted out. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got two of these things, and next year I'm going to be amassing more signatures. And next year, one civilian and one veteran are going to win a guitar signed by any and all artists at Rocklahoma 2023 that I can bump into, that I can interview, that I can just get to touch felt to guitar. And we're going to have two winners at Rocklahoma 2023 this year. And we got a special treat for you at the end. And no one's going to know until it happens, because it will be a once in a lifetime moment for these two winners. And now these two guitars themselves are still up for grabs. These are the 2022 guitars. One was donated by Rocklahoma Bitches. The other one was donated by Camp Rockavet. And these I'm going to give away here in Tulsa at a live show with some of the artists who signed them. But that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do all of that work next year. So I've roped Fallon and Justin into giving me some check marks, making sure that these guys earn it, and it's going to be somebody. So this is from me to Camp Flocking Nightmare and the Scavenger Hunt, and I can't wait to see what you guys make these people do to earn these guitars.
Yes, this has been like the hardest secret to keep, because I have a lot of people I talk to throughout the week, and like I said, Rocklahoma has like started early this year. So, and I haven't been able to talk to Justin about it since you and I had talked about it. So everybody's like, what's new? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, nothing, just nothing. So to keep this secret, it's been hard as heck. So I've just kind of stayed on Facebook, and I've been like, it's fine. But no, this is so freaking exciting. And we can't wait to be able to work with you on this. I can't wait to get to work with Justin on the scavenger hunt, because last year he just kind of, he did that himself, and it's gonna be a good year. And also, I just seen in the comments that Sherry said that Sal was going to donate one of his custom paintings.
Wow.
And Camp Asylum has donated a jean jacket that they have made.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's some moonshine in to boot. So
yes.
if you can't play
so far, you guys,
right?
Like, if nobody wants to get on in this scavenger hunt, you're insane. Because so far already, there's two different signed guitars. There's a denim jean jacket. There is the moonshine. There's the custom painting, and who else knows what we're going to come up with between now and then.
Right.
So you guys are just going to have to keep tuning in to find out. So we can't give you everything at once.
Right.
If you did that, then you wouldn't come back to visit us on whatever nights we decide to get together. So.
And on those guitars, folks, this an example of who we got last year. We got First Strike, Skillet, Quiet Riot, Even in Death, Killer Hearts, Motionless in White, The Who, Sin of Saints, Eternal Frequency, Dead Fervor, Wild Street, along with signatures from Eddie Trunk, Scott Burgess, and Josie Scott of Saliva. These are on these two guitars. Who knows what we get this year? And one of you guys who are going to work for it at Rocklahoma, and you got to party to win this. I mean, this is just the way it is. I mean, you got to go out there and experience all that is Rocklahoma if you're going to win this scavenger hunt. So I think this is fitting. And, I can't wait till they see what's still to come and go in terms of that grand prize. And we're going to be bringing it to you live, so that's going to be fun as well. So whenever you get the conclusion, if you've got if you're up there on that scavenger hunt, you better fix your hair, because you're going to take some photos with some priceless guitars. Fallon, we are winding down on time. I just like I do anybody else, I want to give you a minute or two to, if you got anything to say or anything you want to drop out there for the public, this is your time, girl.
You guys just, I'm kind of Adam's tether right now. So if you guys have any events that you want put on the, if you have any camp names, if you have any events, if you have something that you need on the list or you need us to talk about or advertise or promote or whatever, please stay in touch with me, so I can kind of help keep everything organized. Like I said, this year's big. Plan to attend, even if you stop by the parties for 20, 30 minutes. Again, part of the scavenger hunt, maybe you needing to go to some of these parties to catch some pictures or something. So just keep in mind, we can't unstack things, so just go with having a good time in mind, and be supportive of each other. It takes a lot to do what we all do, and the one thing that we're trying to do is bring back some unity in the camp instead of so much segregation like we've had the last couple of years. And I think we're well on our way to doing it. So just keep doing what you guys are doing, and I know we personally appreciate all the likes, follows, whatever. And if you guys have any questions, reach out to any of us. We're here to help you. So, and one thing real quick, safe sites are coming back again this year. So start making you guys, I don't have time to make guitars anymore. I'm kind of a big deal. No, I'm totally just kidding. But I have a lot on my plate. Got kids in school, both kids in school now. So, you're going to have to make your own damn guitar to put up on your safe site. The only thing that I ask you to do about that is just make sure it's with an iridescent glitter so it stays with the theme of things. So
there we go.
But, yep. And then once you are part of the safe site thing, shoot me once we get everybody's locations. Just let me know where you're going to be so we can put stuff on the map. But that's all I've got tonight.
Wonderful. Fallon, thank you so much for your work in the campgrounds and for coming and joining me on the show and keeping me updated and figuring out how these guys are going to work for those guitars. Fallon, we expect to see so much more from you, and we are about to start getting cracking on that map here in the next month or two, girl. So even more fun nerd stuff. So, Fallon, thank you so much. We will see you next time, girl.
All right. See ya.
Alrighty, folks, and that was Fallon of Camp Masked Nightmare updating us on the campgrounds. Now, we got a little bit left in the show. We had so much to talk about, and as you saw earlier, we got a couple of guitars that I need to give away in the coming months. We are going to be doing that and figuring out how we are going to qualify you guys for winning those 2022 Rocklahoma signed guitars from the media tent. So What's next? Well, in the weeks to come, we are going to be covering a couple of music festivals. Now, we were invited to a Riverside reunion in my backyard here in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, this coming June 15th, 16th, I believe, 17th maybe. You'll have to check those dates for me. But it is Rock the River. It is coming right here in Tahlequah, Oklahoma at Sparrowhawk Camp. And you guys would not believe some of the bands that they've got lined up to play. Let me pull up the email real quick. Bear with me while I pull this up. A lot of these bands we have featured right here on the show, but a lot of them we haven't as well. Now, here's some of them, guys. We've got Seventh Day Slumber, Megalodon Rose, Awaken the Giant, Shelter in Place, 9 Left Dead, Kira, Rid Them All, We Are Araya, The Almas, Sabretooth, Etched in Embers, Drek, The Normandies, Travis Bond, Sin of Saints, and Infall. All are going to be playing here in Tahlequah, Oklahoma at Rock the River. And there's more bands to be announced. This is not including the headliners. This is just some of the bands that they've got attached, and it is going to be a huge one, folks. We've got a ton of the Rocklahoma friends and family that have already RSVP'd. And quote me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that I saw that the big old bus is going to be in town as well. So any note where you see that giant orange bus with a stripper pole and loud music, you know there's going to be a crowd. And guys, there's a float trip as well. There's food trucks, camping, live music. It's everything you could possibly want here in my backyard of Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Rock the River is coming this June, and Surviving Rocklahoma is proud to be a sponsor. Now, folks, we mostly feature local music right here on Surviving Rocklahoma, but sometimes we get flooded with requests and love from bands from afar. Well, this band we featured just a couple of months ago, they made, a splash on that live stream. So they also just their fans blew up the Rock Box this past week. So I have to feature them. So ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Here is Casting Shadowz.
You slipped away. You walked around on me. Now was I just too blind to see the way you strayed? When you're supposed to be with me, you walked out over me. I can't stand the pain. Yeah, you're to blame. Those words you said to me, you looked me dead in my face and played your game. Too bad for me. I put my trust in you, and you just threw me away. Now watch you take away. You sucked the life from me. I gave you everything. How could you be? How could you be so cold? You meant so much to me. And now I feel so alone. But now I see how you can be. I see your true colors shining through. You've shown your true identity, my enemy. I hope you see what you've done, what you created in me. Now I'm coming undone. Trust. the mess you made, I'd have to say how glad I am this way. I just can't look at you. Now I know me the same. Trust. 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 Wow. Why do we go about it? Why does it end this way? Why do we keep on trying? Why am I so afraid? Why do we end up living life like this should never be mine? I put my trust in you and you threw it all away. I feel a fire burning, I can't stop until it burns away. Burns away. I feel a fire burning, I won't stop until it burns away. Trust. 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 Trust.
And that was Casting Shadowz with Trust, hot off of the Rock Box. You guys emailed your requests for Casting Shadowz, so we obliged. Now, if there's somebody you would like featured on Surviving Rocklahoma, folks, well, be sure you send them on over. And for all of you who support this page, tuned in through this show, and continue to share all of our posts and contents, thank you. We appreciate you. No, we really do, guys. I'm living a dream thanks to this show and thanks to each and all of you. It's taken me across the country, and I couldn't have done this without you folks. You and those wonderful artists. Once again, folks, if you would like your music featured on the podcast, submit your music, survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. And you're going to be playing in the area? Well, let us know. We'd like to put that on the calendar as well, so everybody that goes to survivingrocklahoma.com, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, goes over to that website, you can see the calendar with all of the local events that's playing in the northeastern Oklahoma area. And while you're at it, guys, go ahead and check us out on Spotify, and however you are listening to the show, like, follow, subscribe. And this is going to be a very big week on Surviving Rocklahoma. Of course, we've got the show tonight. This will be going out on all of the podcast networks here in the next couple of days. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all of those stuff. We're going to be getting caught up. But on the blog, on the website, I'm also going to be sharing the last of my stories from Key West. And we're going to be dropping more photos from photography by Angel Lee as she releases those professional photos from our trip to Florida just a few weeks ago. Now, also on YouTube, the Surviving Rocklahoma YouTube channel, I'm going to be getting caught up on some past performances and interviews, both from Rocklahoma, born and raised, Rock the Equinox. You never know what you're going to find on that YouTube channel. Make sure that you guys click that like and subscribe button. But until next time, y'all, as we do each and every week, as always, rock on.